So, good day. So, I'll be tackling about the new curriculum of professional education. So, here is the positive transfer. So, I'll try to speak in English for the whole review. So, positive transfer. The positive transfer means if you have used this context to the this idea to the other context, it's from another context, but you use this idea to other context, and if it is helpful or it make an improvements to the context, it is called a positive transfer. Okay, a prototype is a type, but if you said it's a prototype, it has many use. Okay, that called prototype. The cognitive field theory of learning, it's a new the cognitive field theory of learning is that um, here you have already had idea, and it was changed with a new idea. So that called is a cognitive field theory of learning. Okay, the spiral curriculum. The meaning of spiral curriculum is the subject starts from very easy to the harder lessons. For example, in mathematics. Okay, the conditional knowledge is that it was just a condition. Conditionally, this means that the mind was conditioned to exert knowledge, okay, or to show knowledge, okay. Declarative knowledge is that declarative is all about facts, information, and active representation. I have already told that in active representation is also active, but the means of just using our visual senses, or just listening to, or just watching videos on the internet. That is an active representation. Operant conditioning is used to give used to give Operant conditioning is to used to give reward. That is an operant conditioning. Cognition. The cognition is what we have collected and kept on our mind. Metacognition is questioning our knowledge, and progressive differentiation is that they differentiate a kind of a topic, but as he differentiated it, they found out that this what these topics have progressing. Okay, okay. Expository advanced organizer. Organizer is a new knowledge to be kept on our mind. Okay, scheming. Scheming is a term used to just finding the important words in reviewing or in studying. Bandura is the promoter of the social learning theory, or the theories of reflective theory. Okay. Kinesthetic. We all know that bodily kinesthetic is using our body movements to dance, to do sports. And tactile, if tactile is also part of bodily kinesthetic, but we use only of our senses, like vision and watching videos, and making experiment, or the use of just hands for like for example phone repair, or like electrical projects. If you say interference, our old knowledge was blocked because interference means it was disturbed. It was inserted with a new idea. It's called this interference. Okay, attention, or ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, are the students who you cannot get their attention. Mostly it's encountered with a lightning room, which they can see a lot of colors. They really are distracted about it. Okay, the insight learning, relation between the question and the solution. So the people are smart enough to just evaluating or focusing to the questions and thinking about what's the solution. If there's given as solutions, like for example, there's choices, they'll find words that are related to each other. Um, Motor reproduction. The motor reproduction means that you duplicate or you copy what have you watched on the internet or videos, for example, tutorials. Okay. Assimilation. Assimilation is that you collected all have you learned and all have you kept idea on your mind, and just choose only few that you can use in a particular moment, particular project. That's called assimilation. Equilibration is that there's an equal opportunity for the existing knowledge and for the new one. Okay, 110 IQ is for the gifted students, but 140 our IQ test is for the genius student, and 90 is for the average student like us. Okay, IQ is to analyze, EQ is to analyze emotions, and AQ adversity quotient. We all have experiencing adversity quotient because life is not just made to be happy. We have need to meet problems in our personal and the society, to our environment. And there's also a social quotient. It means that you can communicate very well with other people. Okay. Okay. Bennett and Lewis. Bennett is the let me say the father of IQ, but in the modern IQ, the father is Lewis. And then we have Goleman. Goleman is the father of EQ, emotional quotient, and Stewitz is the father of adversity quotient. Okay. Okay, the mental age are there is the mental age. We divide by chronological age times 100 is to test the IQ test. Okay, the mental age is the how do you think, and the chronological age is your age. Okay, Gardner, before there is an eight intelligence, but in the 21st century, or in the new curriculum, there are nine intelligences. Okay, namely, one is the interpersonal, meaning on how you understand yourself, or how you evaluate yourself, and number two is interpersonal, how you mingle with other people. Number three is body kinesthetic, the sporty and the dancer, like that. Number four is musical instruments. It's difficult to learn musical instruments. That was that was separated by body kinesthetic. Number five is natural intelligence. Means that you have this kind of intelligence that you like to study like geographist. And then there's a five already, and the other one is linguistic, good in talking, um, linguistic, good in writing, verbal, mathematical, and extensionist. We have already mentioned maybe, and the visual. Okay, the visual. Okay, Raymond Cattell. Who's Raymond Cattell? Okay, Kaitel defines the two intelligence, the fluid in crystallized. I have made a differentiation of this fluid in crystallized. If we say fluid, it is just an overflowing of new ideas. Um, if it is crystallized, it has formed already on our mind. So this is just the crystallized is a stuck knowledge, while the fluid is the overflowing knowledge that we about to gain. Okay, so impairment, this is a loss of body movements. LSN, the meaning of LSN is that um, learners special educational needs. Okay, so in the Harrison Pasay City, you will find you will find these educational these schools about for the LSN. Okay, a welfare build children village are the school for children who have intellect disabilities. The RA 7277 is this a Magna Carta for disabled, and the 5% of the government employee are from the PWDs. In the RA 10754 is the law for the they given a we have this on the paper because I forget the word we give a discounted for the PWDs. Id is id is intellectual disabilities. Oh, okay, id you're like childlike and thinking, or you're so childish. While the ego is the decision maker, and the super ego is somehow super ego values the super ego wants to progress. Super ego don't mind other people. Super ego wants to attain different things, but without without any considerations. Okay, so the deciding part is the ego. Okay, the fragile let's go to the Fragile X syndrome. If we see the Fragile X syndrome, if there is an X there is a mutation, a more mutation of X chromosomes. Okay, there is disabilities in the Fragile X syndrome. Most occur on boys, possess hyperactivity, hand clapping, and problem with social interactions. Okay, so the fatal alcoholic syndrome, in this case, that the mother, when maybe she found out she's pregnant, or she haven't found out that she's pregnant and drink alcohol, and her baby will have this fatal alcohol syndrome. The baby when born may experience the problem in the heart and liver. So the fetal alcoholic syndrome may experience the heart and liver problems. Okay, the Prader-Willi, or like a Prader-Willi problems occur in the chromosomes 15. So Prader-Willi is overeating, a child with overeating disorders. And the Down syndrome appears when there are mutation in the chromosomes 21. There is a problem, the Down syndrome had a problem with respiratory and also heart problems. Okay, dysprasia, the word dysprasia is difficulty in the movements of the body. Okay, they cannot go straight their arms. Okay, if they want to get something, some objects, their hands is not straight. Okay, there is a problem with the body movements. Okay, anorexia nervosa is not eating disorder. This child this child is not eating, or caught by attentions of the environment. She don't like to eat, and there is a bulimia nervosa, complaining of overeating, but she overeat, but complaining afterwards. Okay, Pika is eating objects, eating toxic objects, and the rumination disorder is vomiting. Okay, and Braille. Okay, the Braille is an instrument or a writing pad that was discovered by Braille, John Braille, Louis Braille, Louis. Okay, Louis Braille. It is the use of a reading for the vision impairment. Okay, IEP, individual educational plan, are used in LSEN. It was with the help of the parents. Okay, the teachers code for LSEN is SPED teachers. They are the planners of the IEP. Okay, the mainstreaming means that it was based in the mental age of the students and on what grade she may belong. Okay, let's repeat. It was based in the mental age of the student, where she he may belong. Okay, if if that students had a problem, an intellectual problem, there is a problem of just adjusting with the same age. Okay, inclusion. If you say inclusion of the boys, of the girls, the ages, and with disabilities in just one school or one classroom. That is inclusion. ADHD, we have already have encountered the ADHD or hyperactivity disorders of the LSN students. They can teacher cannot get their attention, especially with a bright light room where there's a lot of colors, and it's like their mood was like they was cultivated. They want to play. They want to touch everything they've seen because the light was so bright. So the use for LSN students are the like nasa isip ko, anino. So, English natin ang anino. Basta anino yun. Okay, when the dark room, when you use a dark light in your classroom, it makes the LSN students get bored. Okay, so Okay, shadow is what we call in English in okay, shadow teaching is used for the LSN students. Okay, behavior modification approach or SPED. There's just a set of behavior that is a plan for the SPED plan of the SPED teachers for the LSN students. Okay, reinforcement and punishment. Okay, the reinforcement and punishment for LSN students are like the positive reinforcement. What we say positive reinforcement is to get their attention. We promise to give them what they want, like candy. Okay, I said, okay, if you listen to me, I'll promise to give you candy. I'll promise to give you a star. And negative reinforcement um, is that I'll get your pack lunch. Okay, if you don't listen to me, I'll get your pack lunch. Okay, the positive punishment is that okay, I'll try to give you this food. I know you don't like it, but I like it to give you. But if you just follow my instruction, I will not give this to you. Okay? And the negative punishment is that, oh, you like this, I'll get it. It's like a negative reinforcement is to remove the things that LSN students like. So here in negative punishment, so you have to remove the things. Let's differentiate the negative reinforcement. It's just the same here in my reviewer is to remove. Okay. So UNESCO is the United Nations Educational Science and Culture Organization. There are 193 members and 11 associate members. They have met every 2 years. Oh, si J. Delos. Sino si J. Delos? Siya yung discovered the 21st century teaching to UNESCO. Okay? The four pillars of learning by the Lords. There is a learning to transform. Learning transform us to be a upright individual. Okay? To find learning to know, study sports and others. Learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. Okay, the 21st century literacies are learning and innovation. We innovate life and career. We choose the in-demand career or jobs in the worldwide. Information. The information is passed into the internet. The media and technology, the use of this for learning. The information and technology or IT, the use of IT to transfer knowledge. And effective communication is to effectively communicate with our learning with our students in any part of the world. So there is an etiquette and netiquette. If we say etiquette, we are like in a situation that we need to be upright or good person. And if we say that netiquette is the use of any kind of form of like media to show that you have a good behavior. Okay, like the posting into the internet. That's like a etiquette. Okay. Local orientedness. If we say local orientedness, you have to study your own tradition in your barangays, your society and culture on your own country. And there is John Flavel. Who are you, John Flavel? So John Flavel is the father of metacognition. Okay, metacognition. Three metacognitive variables. Person variable. Okay, I have to analyze myself. That is person variable. The task variable, I have to analyze a situation because it may be used in a task, in a project. Okay, how do I going to plan it? Okay, how am I going to because metacognition is that we have already have seen our mind ideas, and metacognition is to ask more about it. And strategy, what are my strategies? So it comes from our mind. So that are the variables of metacognitive. Okay, person variable, it's yourself. Analyze yourself. How do you plan? Task variable, it is needed now. Strategy, what strategy will you use? Okay, there is the Claire Weinstein and Richard Mayer. Mayer is easy to remember maybe because of my former classmate Mayer or Erdin. What is that? Okay. Gaining knowledge from cognitive framework. The 8 strategies of this cognitive framework. Okay, there is a basic rehearsal or just okay. I'm reviewing. I am reading the word and there is a meaning. The complex rehearsal. I will just choose a single word from the meaning. Basic elaboration relating to the concept to one another, like interpersonal and intrapersonal. You can relate the two, or differentiate the two. Complex elaboration relating the old information to new information. I'm actually a reviewer na when I review, I want to follow my old learning or my old knowledge about a particular word because I'm not good in remembering. There is a basic organization. Um you will put it into the group. Okay, it's like an organizer, basic organization. Okay, from the word organization. Well, there you have stock knowledge, and there is a new you have read or watch new information about it, and then you put it on the members of it in your knowledge. Okay, there is a complex organization ranking. What's the best in that meaning of a word? You rank them. Okay, comprehension monitoring. You comprehend yourself. I am still learning. I still can handle all this. And the effective is that okay, you be relaxed. You feel relaxed that what you do is enough. You have already have invested to it to learn about it, so it made you relax. Okay, the Charles Lettery, formulating the cognitive structure. So dito there is 8 strategies, and there is 8 strategies by Mayer, and for Lettery there is 7 cognitive structure. Okay, analysis. Comparative analysis. Number 2. Number 3, narrowing. The means of narrowing is that ability to categorize new information. Complex cognitive. relate the past knowledge to the new one. That is complex cognitive. While the comparative analysis is you can choose which better, which meaning is better. Okay, sharpening, you know the differences of each of the structures, like this cognitive structures. If you can differentiate it, that's called sharpening. Okay, sharpening your mind. Okay, tolerance is just like about Mayor, is that tolerance is that you tolerate that you tolerated it, that you have already had studies and what you did is enough. You can chill and relax. Okay. Okay, the tolerance is that when there's another existing information, you are relaxed because you already have kept on your mind many definitions about the word. Okay, the Professor Rita and Kenneth Dunn, these are the two professors who have said that in every year, and one teacher in every year there is a different experiences. Okay, so because even the teacher progress every year, every the way he or she teaching, it is also progressing every year. It's not the same thing as before. Sociological factors affect our learning. If we are we drink water when we feel umiinom tayo ng tubig pag ano na, kagaya nito, matagal-tagal na ating discussion pag nauuhaw na tayo. Okay? And we eat a lot when we are studying because after we study, we feel starvation. Okay, and then there is a oh my god, sociological sorry, okay, I will repeat it. Sociological factors are our friends and peers who had tell us their experiences about seeing or discovering particular events. So it just affects our learning. But in physiological needs is that we need the food and the water to survive and survive after we would study because we felt starved. Okay, the analytic learners are when you give their like kind of object, they're so analytical. The information is maybe not enough, or if they think that the information is not enough, they analyze it very well, or they manipulate it. That's are the analytic learners. Global learners, global learners. The global learners is talking to other learners from different part of the world about their experience about a particular scenario. That is a global learners. Victor Lowenfield, the study drawing patterns, the scribble. Scribble are from 2 years old. 2 years old child, you know, they're just like making dots and lines. You can understand what they wanna, what they are, what any kind of figure or any kind of shapes. Okay, but the pre-schematic is that you can see that their drawings have changes like sige, Tagalog na tayo. So, pag pre-schematic, ay 3 to 4 years old, yung drawing nila, unti-unti mo na nakikilala kung ano ang gusto nila iparating. Tapos, ang schematic, 5 to 7 years old, there is a spaces in the drawings. And the gang stage, it is the drawings are realism. Okay? The famous behaviorist theories are the classical conditioning. If we say the classical conditioning, they condition. Okay, by Ivan Pavlov and John Watson. Okay, where is our conditioner? Classical conditioning, okay. Classical. Open conditioning used to make suhol or punishment also. Another term for open conditioning or suhol or punishment. Okay. Social learning theory by Bandura and connectionism theory. Connections from Trial and Error by Edward Thorndike. So si Thorndike pala ang proponent nitong connectionism theory na anong ginagawa ni Thorndike? Ito na ang trial and error, connection ng trial and error. Okay? The social constructivism is that we construct for change. Social, it's connection with other people. Okay, MKO, the scaffolding. Let's talk about scaffolding. Fading out. The fading out means that as we get older, the lessons we learn or the ideas that the teacher have instructed us on our elementary days, when we get old, we forgot it. That's also my experience. I have just remember before my classmates and the memories, but not what my teacher had instructed when I was in elementary. Maybe I've just remembered the essential, just to read and write and the arithmetic like that. I'm so sorry to tell, but it's like this is my understanding of the fading out effect in scaffolding. Here in actual development, you can make it alone, and potential development with the need of other the teacher or other people. Sylvie Vygotsky, the proponent of social constructivism, the cognitive constructivism by Brunner. Okay, so there's an existing knowledge and there's added knowledge. Okay, the blog is an online journal, while the vlog is that instead of using text they use videos or instructional videos. Webcasts are references into the internet. The productivity tools are just created for to make an arts or to make a portfolio. Technology tools are the Excel, okay, and the Word, Microsoft Word. That is technology tools. The design tools is making design or graphic organizers. The discussion tools, synchronous, like Google Meet. Okay, handheld devices are phones. Ang podcast, sinasabi ng podcast ay para magturo ng ng mga ideas, sharing ideas. That's called podcast. National ICT policy, may access ang government sa ICT. So let's continue. The national ICT policy government is the as stakeholders. Okay, vision and planning, ICT infrastructure, teachers, skills and competencies, learning resources, IMIS, monitoring and evaluation, equity, inclusion, and safety. Okay, it's fast, but I can't give meaning to this one by one. Just remember this one. The Act of 1998, or RA Republic Act 8484, is the Definite Computerization Act. Okay, e-safety toolkit is that, as from the word safety, this toolkit managed for a safety environment for the children when they search into the internet. Okay, the flipped classroom is that the use of the technology in lesson planning. That is a flipped classroom, and the technology integration means to introduce what you know more about ICT. And the interactive board. Interactive board is the whiteboard. It can an active board. Let's say an active board. What's an active board? Before our old type is that the green board, and there's a whiteboard. There is interactive board where you can use it mm, as a power for the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, Brunner's the third model of Brunner's, and the third model inactive or direct experiences, iconic drawings, symbolic, only mind it creates on our mind the symbols. Okay, if we say symbolic, what kind of symbol? Like for example, it's so difficult to make symbols because I'm not yet experienced it in the classroom. But for example, before the example of symbols is that when you saw tagalogin ko na. Pag nakakita ka ng bangka, isipin mo ang trabaho nila, fisherman, that is symbol. So, paano mo ito gagamitin dito? Oh my gosh. Basta yan ang three-tiered model ni Brunner's, the inactive or the direct experience, iconic, reading photos, and symbolic, only mind, it creates in our mind. So TPAC, the modern 21st century teachers must have technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. Okay, the Assure model, it is the 21st century lesson planning Assure's model. It says in the 21st century because it uses technology. It has six components to analyze the learners. Number two, state objectives. Okay, just like before, to analyze the learners. Number two, state objectives. Like a regular lesson plan, you state objectives. Three, select methods, media, and materials. Okay, what materials you will use? I will use medias like YouTube for instruction. Okay, and Google Meet for asynchronous meeting. Okay, utilize media and materials. Okay, you must know how to use this Google Meet or Zoom meeting for your classes. Okay. Five, require learner participation. You can see in the Google Meet the raise hand if the students are participating, or you can use the microphone to hear what they were talking. Okay. Number six, evaluate and revise. Okay. There's a need more of need improvements on an ICT program. Okay. The API model generic process it is. So the Azure model is the you must use now, and the Apple model is the generic process generic. Just remember the generic. It's Apple or Apple model, API model. I don't know what's this one. I just read it on my notebook. It's like API model. You have to just remember the generic process used by designers and developers. Okay, developers, it may be used in teaching 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 sa ITs, sa mga IT, especially in the course ng IT, tsaka ng engineering, or sa course din ng architecture. So they use API model to analysis, design, development, implementation, evaluation. What is PPP? Prepare yourself, prepare your student, present your materials, and um, follow. Realia, if you say Realia, is that the sample of the teachers that is so real. Like for example, when she is teaching about electrical, or a light bulb, she can present to you a light bulb while teaching, okay, to show the parts of the light bulb or others. I don't know what they're doing about that, but that's a Realia. So si Dales have said that a globe or a representation of globe is a Realia used to study the earth, okay, by the use of a globe. So that was according to Dale, okay. So direct purposeful experience. Direct purposeful experience is that it have purpose. So it's the beginning, or it's the foundation of learning. It's a direct purposeful experiences. Contrived experiences. Contrived experiences is that if we can experience a real thing, if we study like animals like snakes or tigers, lions. So we use this contrived experience. So we can just teach the student by the use of the internet. Okay, it's also a direct experience because they have watched it. Okay, from the time of your class. Okay, dramatized experience is to dramatize drama. Okay. Exhibit is just there is an arrangement of the facts, or of the for example paintings and artifacts. But exhibit means that you can move it to one you can move the particular objects in one place. That's called exhibit. So if we have an exhibit here in our classroom, the next day the next classroom have an exhibit, or they make be use of the artifacts I've used today. They will be used it by tomorrow. So exhibit is we can put it into another place. Okay. Pantomime is the pantomime. Ang ganda ng pantomime. Parang ang dali mo siyang matandaan pero nakalimutan ko. Ang pantomime ay okay, the involvement of your body in conveying a story. Okay. Tumakbo na ako si teacher. Tapos, tumakbo, for example, making a story, English story, and to your classes, and you make it more comprehensible, you have to use pantomime to act that the characters are, trying to portray. Okay, trying to portray the characters. The cartoons, nowadays in the internet, they are using cartoons to tell stories. It's like a metaphorically, okay. And internet it is the global network.